What's up, everybody? Brothers, sisters, psychonauts, and seekers of truth. It is Ananka, and welcome to my bazaar. Today, I have a 6 APB / 5 MAPB trip report for you. The title of this trip report is Very Happy at Low Dose, and was submitted to Erowid in 2016 by the user Uptown31. With all that being said, let our story begin. I obtained several grams of various research chemicals through a reputable source. My background briefly: 31-year-old male, with not too much experience with stimulants. I've smoked weed regularly for over a decade, and have tripped with mushrooms several dozen times in the past 14 years. I have rolled on MDMA twice before, and had positive experiences both times. The setting? Friday night. I'm going out with 5 friends to a club later that evening. Previously that day, I had weighed out my dosage using a milligram scale, and put the powder into an empty capsule. After much research, I decided to try what I felt was a low-dose synergistic combination that might give me some euphoria with energy. My boyfriend had been ill earlier that week, so he decided just to stick to casual drinking, but was perfectly fine with me testing out the RCs, so he was also there to look out for me. At 10:30, after meeting at a bar with our friends, I take the pill I brought. At this point, I had had 2 beers. We arrived at the club. I'm feeling great and excited, but nothing that can be attributed to the substances yet. 15 minutes in, I'm dancing, and I look up at one of the lights on the ceiling. It looks extremely intense, kind of glowing. It's a blue light and has a glow familiar to me as being a little shroomy. 30 minutes in, I go to the smoking lounge, and wow, did that cigarette taste good. I feel a swell of energy, and I don't want to sit on the couch. I'm not with any of my friends back here, and I'm typically a socially reserved person. But now, I am chatting with 3 or 4 guys around me very easily. I am feeling extremely friendly and happy. It feels good to casually put my arm around these guys I'm talking to, and I am still in control of my headspace. An hour and a half in, dancing. Music sounds great. The DJ is smiling at me, and I've got a great grin going on. I have a mineral water to help my very dry throat. My hands want to touch and feel surfaces. Kissing my boyfriend feels amazing, a deep sense of affectionate love. 2 hours in, I went to the urinal. Slightly difficult to get that pee going at first. Check my eyes in the mirror. Definitely dilated, but not owl eyes going on. I'm giggling with the dude next to me at the sink, because he asks me if his eyes look like drug eyes. But then he gets real close to my face and looks at mine, and we laugh together. 3 hours, more dancing. I don't want to stop dancing. My body feels cozy, and my head is full of happy thoughts. I am able to carry on conversations with friends and recall specific memories with ease. Crack jokes based on shared history, too. I am hugging my friends and in a happy place. My boyfriend comments that I look like I'm in a real good groove. 3.5 hours in. Some of my friends want to go, since the club is feeling a little too crowded. I agree. It's becoming harder to find enough space to dance. Luckily, the ventilation is wonderful here, and it feels like a constant soft breeze is blowing. But I don't really want to go. I could keep dancing for hours, it feels like. My boyfriend hasn't drunk too much, but the rest of my friends are pretty drunk. Somehow, we can't stay together in the club. I'm with my boyfriend, but the others are distributed around in their own little adventures. After 4 hours, my boyfriend is getting a little frustrated at trying to herd up the group to go. I head to the smoking lounge one last time. The taste of cigarettes is divine. My eyes are ever so slightly darting around, but so even is close to how they get on MDMA. I reflect on the fact that my jaw isn't clenching up either. It's been about 4 hours since I started feeling my light roll, and there is no peak at all. I'm just happy and outgoing and have energy to keep going. Music appreciation remains heightened at this point too. 15 minutes later, we collect ourselves and leave the club. I'm smiling like a donut still, and others look pretty tired and drunk. They get into a cab and go. My boy and I walk home, since we only live about 15 minutes away downtown. He comments that I look like a happy kid, and I'm still moving my body in the walk home to a beat in my head. 4.5 hours in, we get home, and I know I don't want to stay awake by myself while my boyfriend passes out. So I smoke a bowl of indica and get into bed with him. I feel horny, and tactile sensations are extremely enjoyable, but I am definitely having trouble getting an erection, unlike with MDMA. 5 hours in, I check the clock at this point for reference. Boyfriend is asleep, and I am awake but super relaxed, enjoying what seems like closed-eye visuals. Not really colors, but patterns when I close my eyes. At some point I must have fallen asleep, because I wake up around 11 the next morning, feeling surprisingly fine. I pop 100 milligrams of 5-HTP, just in case, but I am feeling okay. No hangover since I only drank 4 beers in total, and I had enough water. The sun is shining, and going for a walk later sounds like a great idea. I make coffee and smoke a cigarette, at which point I noticed a pronounced lingering taste for cigs. I also notice acute haptic sensations have remained. I bring the coffee back to the bedroom, and my boyfriend is awake too now. I'm feeling very horny, and touching surfaces still feels extremely enhanced. My boyfriend tells me that I had woken him up twice in the night because I was sleeping roughly, and that I had sweat a lot in the night too. Even if that's the case, my own sleep was not disturbed at all. Around noon, we have great sex together. Once I got an erection, I had no problem maintaining it. Sex felt slightly better than usual, mostly because of the still obvious tactile enhancement of my skin and especially my hands. The rest of the day I felt fine, just tired and prone to laying out on the couch. I noticed that for the rest of the day, each time I smoked a cigarette, my pupils would dilate slightly. Tactile sensations lingered throughout the rest of the day, but it was not bothersome at all. Rather enjoyable, actually. Overall, I think 6-APB is a powerful compound. I tried 5-MAPB on its own months earlier, enjoyable energy by itself. But 6-APB adds intense euphoria, some visuals, and heightens the bonding with others. For a 5 to 6 hour night out dancing, I would not change this combined dose. I think for a longer night out at a club that stays open later, I want to add perhaps 25 to 30 more milligrams of the 6-APB, but won't add to the 5-MAPB because the energy levels were up enough. I truly enjoyed this combo, experienced no crash at all, and would gladly use this again.